Below this, we add an About section. We want to show Lisa finally here that people can see who is this blogger, who is this influencer, and get right into her brand. Man, 10 years ago, we didn't use this word brand. Now it's like everywhere. I'll add a section, click Add, and then go to Library. And this is one of the things that I often tell people. When you come to these sections that you are so used to, like team sections, bio sections, go and have a look at the pre-made sections. Often, most of the time, there is a section you're going to find that fits 95 to 100% into what you had in mind. At the top, make sure your design set is set to Samba. Under the filter, we have this option here for author bio. This suits me perfectly. This is a good About Me section. We're going to use the first one. You can see there's a few. And I'll go ahead and click Add to Page. A number of things are not going to work for our page. And the first one is that you can see that our content width is different on these two. I don't like it. I want to make sure that this left canvas border and the right one, that this one has the same width. This constraint is probably done within the section. Select the new section. On the left, you can see there are changes made to the background and to the size. That little dot indicates that changes have been made to the size. And they've put the container width on a constraint of 960 pixels. And that tells you that's what's going on. What you can actually do without even opening this tab is go ahead and clear everything. It will give you exactly what you want. This section is as simple as just switching out the content. I'll go to the heading. It is on H3. We want to have it on H2. You can change the size if you want to, but this is what we kind of want for our H2s. Then I'll select it, Lisa Lambrecht. Travel blogger. How did they know that? Does it come in as travel blogger? I have to see that. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see that previously. Great Scott! Travel blogger it is by default. What a coincidence. And then update this little bio here. Lisa I didn't even read it. Lisa is a passionate traveler and writer who has been exploring the world for over a decade. Not true, right? Lisa is only doing the Western Cape in South Africa. This is something that I could also give a lecture on, is about choosing a niche when you're doing blogging today. In the old days, you could just blog about everything in general, but today you need to find a niche. Just saying you're exploring the world for over a decade, no one will be interested. If you are saying you are exploring the world with your Chihuahua, people are like, oh, really? And that's kind of what it is to mean you go for a niche, just like Lisa is only doing places in the Western Cape in South Africa. That is not a cross on her forehead. That tells you that this is a column and that there is nothing inside this column except the background. To change the image, you have to select the column, click inside it, go to background, and switch it out for Lisa. This one. Choose, and we don't make any other changes. One thing I keep forgetting to draw your attention to, every time you work with an element, whether it is from a starter site or from a design kit, or just as default as it comes from the Elements panel, there are often changes made already to it. And if you want to know what those changes are, go over to the Properties panel on the left, and at the bottom, next to Search, there's Modified. Select that, and it will filter and only show you those changes that have been made. This is really helpful when you are working with something like a pre-made block section, like we are doing here, and you want to understand what's going on. For example, here we have a shadow, which I want to remove because it doesn't fit the design that I've done for this website. It took me a while to figure out where it is. Now, logically speaking, it should be the container for both columns. We go to the Structure panel and we collapse everything. We'll see that it's a section, and then there is one parent columns container. That should be the one. We are not going to be applying shadow to one column and then the next. That's just foolish. So it should be the columns. As I came here, I couldn't find it and I was a little bit lost for a while. Finally, I found it here, settings, advanced, and then wrapper. I didn't notice it. Go to wrapper, and here with the background or effects, I think that's where the shadow came in. That's how the box shadow was applied. If you want to save you all that deep dive and hunting around for the effect, with the column selected, like I told you just now, select modified, and then you see everything that Breakdance team has set up before time and the changes that they've made here appear here. And now I can see here box shadow. Immediately it catches my eye and tells me there's a box shadow applied. All I'm going to do is select the clear, and the box shadow is gone, baby, gone. The other thing you should also consider maybe are these rounded corners. This one, I'm curious, will this be columns? Let's click on the columns, click on modified, and then border radius. There we go. Wrapper, borders, radius, 12 pixels. Again, I will clear it so we have nice sharp corners, keep everything consistent across my site. That's it. We used this design kit, Samba, and then we made these changes very quickly, and we used the modified option to get rid of those things that we didn't like or to understand exactly where changes had been made. I'm not always consciously thinking of what I'm doing while I am building a website, but when I do the tutorials and I take a break and I walk outside in the garden or go walk with the dogs, that's when I start thinking about things. And one of the things I realized while making this blogging tutorial, especially working on the demo, was that actually most of your time in making this look like a blog site goes into design. For beginners, that challenge part is how to set up the posts, how to make sure the query is set up correctly. And this looks like a big obstacle that is in front of you. And this makes you hesitate in actually tackling a more elaborate blogging site. But I do realize once you start working with that and you do it a few dozen times, you get the hang of it. And then in the end, to make your site really become a blog site, it's all about the styling. It's very little about the queries and all those post lists and dynamic data. So don't be scared of the dynamic data. Rather begin to think of how the design looks. Like this hero section we had built up here. This is one post list element we used 3 times. And by combining it, laying it out, changing the fonts, changing the colors, we make it look what is called a news or magazine style blogging website.